because the reports that I've received across the county today have shown that more Democrats are going to the polls today than Republicans, which means that in November, stay with me here, in November, we're not going to have a blue wave. We are going to have a blue tsunami. Now listen, I know that this last year and a half has been hard. We've all felt it, right? And I know that the future over the next year or two will continue to be hard. But I want to leave you with some words of inspiration from none other than Mahatma Gandhi. When I was a teacher in Bensalem High School teaching history, too many years ago now for me to remember, I had a quote from Gandhi on the classroom wall to inspire my students. And in that quote, what Gandhi said was this: "When I despair, I remember that all throughout history there have been tyrants. And for a time, they may seem invincible. But in the end, they always fall. Always." Now, what was Gandhi saying? Not that the universe ordains this. Just like Martin Luther King Jr. was not saying when the arc of history bends towards justice that happens by itself. What they were both saying is that this change of creating justice, of providing a brighter future for everyone, happens when ordinary people like you and me demand it. When we demand justice, when we demand a brighter day, when we demand that we include everyone in our society and we make that better society for everyone. And if we do that, this November, we are going to re-elect Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis. We are going to elect Bob Harvey to Congress. We are going to flip the state Senate by electing Eileen Abayar and Bradley Merkel Gump. We're going to expand our majorities in the state house by re-electing Brian Monroe and electing, among others, Brian Allen and Kristen Egan. We are going to do all these things this year. And next year, we're going to run the table in Bucks County and across Pennsylvania. And in 2028, we are going to elect a Democrat to the White House. We can do it. Let's get this done. Thank you, folks.
Please welcome to the stage Pennsylvania State House Representative Brian Monroe.
Election Day. Before I get started, I got to say that I'm honored to be in the same room with royalty here. The president of the Central Bucks School, I guess, student body, Max Ginn. Max, wave everybody. Also, he's like a 3-time intern in my office. So, oh my God, I'm surrounded by interns here. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Warminster Township in the 144th District. So let's talk nationally for a second. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. Have you had enough? Right? You had enough? What we're witnessing is pure turmoil, an attack on our neighbors, troops being sent into American cities, the gutting of key government infrastructure, and the systemic obliteration of Medicare funding. They're separating families and canceling critical scientific funding, including, by the way, cancer research. And as a reminder, if you don't know me, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. Thank you. They're starting wars for questionable reasons at best driving up gas prices to near $5 a gallon, and driving up the cost of food, and let's be honest, driving up the cost of everything. So I ask you again, have you had enough? 4 years ago, right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, two people ran on the same ticket. What we didn't fully realize then, but we certainly know now, is that they were going to become an essential shield, a frontline defense of protecting us from the absolute worst effects of what Washington, D.C. was about to do. In 2022, Pennsylvania Republicans took action and voted to strip away a woman's right to choose. We can't forget that. They have repeatedly put forward legislation to restrict your voting rights and limit ballot access. And they have repeatedly attempted to gut funding for our public education. But because of the election of Governor Shapiro and because of my own election, and if you didn't figure that out, the two people on the ballot together were myself and the governor, it secured a historic one-seat Democratic majority in the House of Representatives. We stood our ground, we protected a woman's right to choose, and we preserved access to the ballot box. You know, since Trump's election, Republicans have brought nothing but pure chaos to this nation. But Governor Shapiro, myself, and my Democratic colleagues in the House have been the wall mitigating that disastrous or the most disastrous impacts. Make no mistake, if we lose the House, those protections vanish like that. And the assault on your rights would be unmitigated. So are we going to let that happen? I know I'm not going to let it happen, and I sure as hell know that you're not going to let it happen. We're not just going to win my reelection. We're going to expand our Democratic majority in the State House. We're going to flip seats. We are going to flip, just like the senator said, we're going to flip the state Senate. Only 2 seats, right? And we're going to do better than that. And we're going to overwhelmingly reelect Governor Josh Shapiro, the most popular, I'm going to say it, the most popular governor in Pennsylvania history. And we're going to send a clear, undeniable message come November. With a Democratic trifecta in Harrisburg, we will no longer just be playing defense. No. We won't just be a shield. We're going to go on the offensive. We're going to enshrine a woman's right to choose directly into our Constitution. We're going to enshrine workers' rights, union rights. We're going to pass common sense gun safety legislation, and that will no longer be left to die, by the way, in the Senate Republicans. We're going to expand access to jobs, and we're going to put money back into your pockets. We will deliver a powerful system of checks and balances right here in Pennsylvania against this White House, and we aren't going to stop there. We're going to flip the U.S. House, and we're going to flip the United States Senate, and we're going to return sanity back to this country, back to our grocery stores, and back to our gas pumps. So thank you. Listen, everybody, we have exactly, I checked, it's 168 days to raise the funds, knock the doors, and build the energy. So let's get to work, and as the governor likes to say, let's get shit done. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Democratic nominee for Pennsylvania's 6th State Senate District and Bucks County Clerk of Courts, Eileen Hartnett-Albilar.
Hello, Bucks County. It's so good to see you all today. Thank you for coming here. I'm Eileen Hartnett-Albilar, and I am running for the Pennsylvania State Senate. I'm so proud to be running here in Bucks County for the Pennsylvania Senate in District 6. I'm a Bucks County mom. I'm currently the clerk of courts for Bucks, but I'm a social worker. That's the profession I chose. Yes, social worker is going to save the world, right? And I chose this profession because it's rooted in social justice. Social work is about helping our neighbors. It's about improving our communities. It's about doing good for others. It's about what's best for the most. And that's why I chose this profession as social worker. And that's why I'm running for state senate. And for 30 years, I've been helping families in crisis, families who are low income, working families, to rebuild after crises. In the state senate here in Pennsylvania, the Republicans who have had the majority in the Pennsylvania Senate for 30 years, they have been blocking progress on the issues that matter most to working families, not just here in Bucks County, but across Pennsylvania. So I am running to flip District 6 and to flip the state Senate. I am running to raise the minimum wage in Pennsylvania, which is $7.25 minimum wage. I'm running to raise the minimum wage so that every family in the Commonwealth has the opportunity to earn a livable wage. I'm running because we need to fund mass transit, because folks need to get to and from work, which Senate Republicans have blocked again. I'm running to fully fund public education across the Commonwealth, because your education should not depend on your zip code. I'm running to protect and expand access to health care, because I've been with families who have lost everything because of an unplanned medical expense. They've lost everything and have had to rebuild. I'm running to expand affordable housing because I've sat with homeless veterans who are desperate to find a safe place to put their head at night. I'm running to protect food security because I've sat with moms who didn't know where their next meal was coming from for their families. In the state Senate, we are just 3 seats away from flipping it and getting a Democratic majority for the first time in 30 years. If we're going to do it, this is the year. 2026 is the year it's going to happen. If we can't do it this year, it's not going to happen. But it is going to happen this year. And the path to flipping the Senate runs right through Bucks County, right here in this district. You know it. I know it. The governor knows it. We all know that this is the key to flipping the state Senate and getting the majority. When we have the Senate majority and when we expand our Democratic majority in the House, then we can help enact the governor's agenda. And that's what we're here for. We want to enable the governor to be able to get all the things done, get all the stuff done that will help working families. Working families in Bucks County and across the Commonwealth need to help flip the state Senate and help get our governor to be able to get his stuff done. So I'm Eileen Hartnett-Albiar. Thank you so much for coming out today. I talked to so many folks out at the polls today, and I told them, you are saving democracy one vote at a time. So let's get out there and save democracy this year. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, Chair of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party, Eugene DePasquale.
Good evening, everybody. Come on, we can do a little better tonight. Good evening. Love the enthusiasm here as we set the stage to not only re-elect our governor and lieutenant governor, but have Democrats win up and down the ballot. We have an historic opportunity this year to not only flip Pennsylvania, but also take our country back. And no one is more invested in helping make that happen than Governor Josh Shapiro. And starting right here in this region of the state, we are going to flip seats up and down the ballot. Starting with the United States Congress. In Pennsylvania alone, we have enough power
to flip enough seats to give the Democrats the majority of the United States House of Representatives and make Donald Trump legislatively a lame duck president. And we also have the power right here in this region and right here in our state to flip enough seats to win the state Senate and to expand our House majority to make sure we give Governor Shapiro and the Democratic Party the first Democratic trifecta since 1992. And together, we can put a check on the toxic, reckless, cost-raising agenda that's happening in Washington, D.C., tariff policies that are hurting average, everyday Pennsylvanians, a war of choice, and health care decisions that are hurting average, everyday Americans. We can put a stop to that right here in Pennsylvania. But in order to do that, we have to win. Can all the coordinated campaign organizers in the room raise their clipboards for just a second, please? See those clipboards? What I want everyone to do at some point this evening is go over to the people with the clipboards and sign up to volunteer, whether that's text banking, phone banking, lit canvassing, whatever it is. You'll be part of our volunteer army to take our country back. Look, here's a prediction in the Democratic primary. You ready? A Democrat's going to win. All right, that's my prediction. But as someone that has run in several primaries myself, it takes a lot of guts to run in these primaries, and not every Democrat is going to win tonight. We have to all remember that we are all part of the Democratic family. We have to commend the people that had the guts to put their name on the ballot. Give them a round of applause as well, even if they are not winning tonight. Because it takes a lot of guts to do that. But after these results are done, we have to unite as a Democratic family under our leaders, Governor Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Davis. We have to unite behind their leadership and march forward into this November to flip Congress, flip the state Senate, add seats to our House majority, make sure we can govern the way the governor needs to in Pennsylvania, and put a check on the reckless, toxic agenda of Donald Trump. We have the power to do that here in Pennsylvania. Let's go out and win. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage Pennsylvania State House Majority Leader Matt Bradford.
Good evening, Bucks County. Good evening, Pennsylvania Democrats. This is part of a great, great campaign that begins tonight, where Josh Shapiro shows the way, not just for Pennsylvania, but to this country, how pragmatic, consensus-building Democrats can govern sensibly, and win elections. Here in Pennsylvania, here in Bucks County specifically, we have to make a decision, and it involves 2 votes. 2 votes in a state Senate will give Democrats a trifecta. Will prevent those in the state Senate that obstruct, that make sure that Pennsylvania is the only state that has the sad distinction of having a $7.25 an hour minimum wage. If you think that's appropriate, you should keep this obstructionist Republican state Senate in place. If you want to get stuff done, if you want to support Governor Shapiro, your 2 votes need to make sure here in Bucks County that we elect 2 Democratic state senators and give Josh Shapiro the tools he needs to provide the type of leadership Pennsylvania desperately needs. The other story is about 2 other votes, about a governor's chair and 1 seat in the state house, where I am honored to serve as the majority leader. We lose that governor's chair. We lose 1 seat. Maybe Brian Monroe's, maybe somewhere across this Commonwealth. Stacey Garrity has already made clear what her position is on a woman's right to choose. She has made clear that she will obstruct any progress for this Commonwealth. We have a real stark choice in front of us. Do we continue the progress of our unbelievably popular governor, or do we empower those voices of obstruction that Stacey Garrity supports? I say let's use our 2 votes. Let's use it in Bucks County. Let's give Josh Shapiro the tools he needs. And let's say this: 2 votes, but 2 choices. The chaos, the cruelty, the corruption that we see out of Washington, D.C. Trump's Washington stands in stark contrast to the accomplishments, the compassion, the generosity, the competence of our governor. Our brand is pragmatism, it is consensus, it is get shit done. 7, working class tax cuts. The fastest growing economy in the Northeast of the United States. We're investing in law enforcement. Damn right we're going to clap about it. We're going to knock on doors about it. And we're going to tell Pennsylvanians why we got to keep going. In Pennsylvania, as our great chair just told us, we have 4 congressional seats. 1 here, Bob Harvey. Let's get a check around that craziness that's going on in Washington, D.C. 4 congressional seats. Josh Shapiro's brand, our Pennsylvania brand. That's how we're going to take back the U.S. House, and we're going to do it with the leadership of our great governor. And for us in the State House, everything we do comes back to that magic 102. The humility to recognize that that is our obligation, to govern between the 40s, as we say, to be smart enough to win and compassionate enough to lead. Now we're going to hear from our next speaker, Speaker McClinton. She is the star. We need to hold gavels. We need gavels in D.C. We need gavels in the state Senate. We need them in the State House. We know the play of these wishy-washy, pseudo-faux moderates when it comes general election time in southeastern Pennsylvania. They'll try to cozy up with our governor, but the reality is they've obstructed for 2 damn long years. They'll vote for the big, beautiful bill, and then they'll vote against it, and they'll tell you they're your friend. Let me tell you something. Democrats, get fired up. Get ready to win. Get ready to go to bat for Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis. They are the future. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Speaker of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, Joanna McClinton.
Good evening, Bucks County. Good evening, Bucks County. It is great to be with you this evening on election night. How many of us voted in that Pennsylvania primary? That's right. We lifted our voices and we made sure everyone knows how important it is in this hour that we vote every single time we get the privilege to do so. We understand that in this hour, our country is at a crossroads. We are looking down the pathways of what our future can and should be. That future for our children, where there's well-funded schools, that future for our seniors, where they have access to health care, that future where women like myself don't take the government to the doctor's office, that future where we get to live free and have a real democracy. Or there could be more chaos. There could be more excuses. There could be more reasons as to why our transit system refuses to be funded. There could be more excuses as to why our minimum wage can't be raised. But I'm so excited to know, because I understand that Bucks County will be a part of the good future that we will choose come this November. See, that future includes expanding our beloved one-seat State House Democratic majority. That future includes making sure we finally flip that Pennsylvania State Senate. That future includes electing Bob Harvey to the United States House of Representatives. And that future includes running it back for the governor out of all 50 states, our governor, His Excellency Josh Shapiro, and our Lieutenant Governor, Austin Davis. You asked me why? I'm glad you asked. That's because they're my partner in progress in Harrisburg. They're my partner at the budget table when we're investing in schools. They're my partner when we're making sure we create affordable housing. They're my partner at passing the Crown Act. They're my partner in all the good work that we've done. And guess what, folks? With your help, we've got more work to do. Let's get it done.
Please welcome to the stage Pennsylvania State Senator and Senate Democratic Campaign Committee Chair, Vincent Hughes.
Is this Bucks County? Are we in Bucks County? Are we in Pennsylvania? Are we in Josh Shapiro country? All right, repeat after me. Josh Shapiro. Come on, Josh Shapiro. One more time, Josh Shapiro. It feels like it's a winning party that we're at right now. Come on. So like it's winning time tonight. And we are enjoying winning this primary. With Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis leading our ticket, we're enjoying that. We will celebrate the win tonight. But tomorrow morning, you know what we got to do. We got to put that work in. Put that serious work in. Put those 18, 20, 22-hour days in. Making sure that the work is getting done because it is that important. We must, without any hesitation, have a landslide victory for Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis. That has to be the goal. We must grow the majority in the House of Representatives. No one vote majority. 4, 5, 6, 7. How many more, Matt Bradford, Joanna McClinton? 6 more. There you go. Speaker McClinton said she needs 6 more in the House. But then we got to do what we've been trying to get done for far too long. We must flip the Senate of Pennsylvania. And it is within our reach to get it done this time. This time. Every time we see a gas station and the price for gas is $4.79 a gallon, we just need to flip the Senate. Every time we see people losing health insurance, we just need to flip the Senate. Every time we see someone who can't make their mortgage or their rent payment, we must flip the Senate. Every time we see an injustice that the Republicans in Pennsylvania feed into the madness in Washington, D.C., we must flip the Senate. Not because we just want to have power, but we must all never forget who needs us, the people who need us the most. Those young people who want to fulfill their dreams, who may want to go to college or want to find a skill somewhere, but the resources are not there for them to do that. We must flip the Senate. It is that senior citizen who needs extra help to make sure they can get from one day to the next. We must flip the Senate. It is our schools that still are crumbling, even though we have made historic gains in funding of education, thanks to the leadership of Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis. We must flip the Senate to fix our schools and to do all the things that all the people of Pennsylvania are hoping and praying for us to get done, not for us, but for them. So this is the team that's going to put the people first. The team is going to lead us through, flip the Senate, expand the majority in the House, and get Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis elected one more time with a huge majority. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Again, repeat after me. Josh Shapiro. Oh, this don't sound like Bucks County. Josh Shapiro. Again, Josh Shapiro. Let's go win, people. Let's go win for the people of Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage Bucks County Commissioner and Democratic nominee for Pennsylvania's 1st Congressional District, Bob Harvey.
Oh, thank you very much. Hello. Not just Bucks County. How about PA1? Thank you. I'm honored to be here tonight, and I'm honored to be your Democratic nominee to flip this seat and take back Congress and start getting our country back on track. Thank you so much. Think about where we are right now, and I mean that in multiple ways. I'm proud to be a Bucks County native, born and raised here. Okay, by a father who was a union electrician, by a mother who was a school secretary, first in my family to go to college. I taught school in this county, raised my children in this county, in this district. I cannot understand, and I have a hard time thinking back to those kids who were in my classroom. I don't know what I'd be teaching them right now about where our country is. I don't recognize the country that I was born to raise and love. Okay? I don't recognize this country anymore and what we stand for. And we know that this president, the damage he has done to people in this county, in this Commonwealth, in this country. Think in the past year about all the things that have been gutted: Department of Education, SNAP, Medicaid, ASA tax credits. Healthcare is more expensive, gas is more expensive, milk is more expensive, housing is more expensive, everything is more expensive. And yet, we cannot just blame Donald Trump. It's too easy. It's too easy just to put the blame on him, because he's got people like Brian Fitzpatrick who are helping him do the damage that they're doing to this Commonwealth and this district. Okay? It has been 10 years. 10 years of Brian Fitzpatrick. Is your life better now than it was 10 years ago? No? Are you sure? He says it is. Is the country better than it was 10 years ago? Well, I don't know. I don't know what news stations you're watching. Okay? Because Donald Trump and Brian Fitzpatrick think everything's fine. I'd tell you to ask Brian Fitzpatrick, but he doesn't do town halls, so there's no way to talk to him. Okay? It is time for him to go. It is time for him to go. We need actual leadership in Congress. We need people who are going to stand up to Donald Trump, not just stand aside. We need people who are going to stand up for you and everything that you fought for, everything that you've worked for, everything you want. I see a lot of young faces in this crowd tonight. Let me hear you, all the young people who are here. Let me hear you. Come on. We want an America that is working for you. We want a government that is working for you. We are fortunate, we are blessed to have in this Commonwealth a governor and a lieutenant governor who know what it's like to fight for you. They know what it's like to fix the things that the other party keeps getting wrong. They know that the minimum wage needs to go up. They know that we need real work when it comes to education. And thanks to them, we've got meals now for kids in our schools all across this Commonwealth. They know what it's like to fix the problems, like when I-95 collapses and you get it rebuilt in a matter of days, not months. Okay? We have a governor and lieutenant governor who know how to get shit done. Okay? We need a Congress who knows how to do something, and we don't have that right now. We don't have that right now. No, in this Commonwealth, 250 years ago, this country was born. In this county, not far from here, 250 years ago, this country was saved. Think about the building you're in right now. If you don't know what this was the training facility for the astronauts, the very first astronauts that this country ever had. Okay? This is where dreams were made. The dream of going to the moon happened in this building. Okay? The dream of winning the space race happened in this building. Once again, America needs this county and this Commonwealth. Once again, they need us to stand up for them. And so I'm so thankful that you are here tonight. I'm so thankful that you're supporting all the great speakers you've seen and our fantastic lieutenant governor and our great governor. And I'm thankful that you are going to continue fighting with me and with them to save this country, because we have no choice. It is time right now for Brian Fitzpatrick to go. Okay? I'm asking for your help. Okay? Thank you for being here, and let's keep fighting on to November. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, Austin Davis.
Thank you, Pennsylvania Democrats. Thank you for your faith, for your energy, and for your belief in the future of this Commonwealth. I have to take a moment to thank my best friend and the love of my life, Blair Holmes Davis. Somehow you managed to raise our daughter, support our family, and show up every day as Pennsylvania's second lady. I couldn't do any of this without your love and support. Thank you, babe. These last 3 years, serving as your lieutenant governor have been one of the highest honors of my life. Every single day, I've been laser focused on what really matters: our families, our communities, and the responsibility that we have to one another. And tonight, I'm deeply humbled and proud to accept the Democratic nomination for re-election as your lieutenant governor. But while I stand here tonight filled with gratitude, I'm also clear-eyed about the moment we're in, because this isn't just a celebration, it's a call to action. I didn't get into public service for a title or a spotlight. I got involved because of what I saw growing up in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. When I was 16 years old, a man was shot on my block. I remember standing there, feeling helpless. I remember my sense of safety and security being shattered. And I remember thinking that nobody should have to live in a community where they don't have the opportunity to be safe and feel safe. That no parent should have to wonder whether their child is going to make it home. And no family should do everything right, work hard, show up, play by the rules, and still live with that fear hanging over them. That moment has never left me. It taught me something I carry with me every day: that the people closest to the pain should be closest to the power. That very belief led me to my first city council meeting. It led me to run for office, and it's still what drives me today. While I didn't know where this work would lead me, I've always known why I was doing it. I wanted to address the gun violence plaguing my community so that my neighbors would be able to feel safe and be safe in our community. I've carried this mission from a teenager to your lieutenant governor. I know my younger self would be proud to see all of the work we've accomplished so far. From reestablishing the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and launching the Commonwealth's first ever after-school program, to investing millions of dollars in community-based organizations and law enforcement doing the work to keep our community safe. All of this progress started from me as a young person wanting to see change happen. I take pride in having grown up in a working-class family in a working-class community where I learned what community really means. It means looking out for one another. It means understanding that dignity isn't something you earn, it's something that everyone deserves. And it means knowing that your zip code should never determine your destiny. That's why I stepped forward. And that's why I've stayed in this fight. But over these last few years, this work has become even more personal for me. Because I don't just have the honor of serving you, I'm also a dad now. My daughter Harper is the most beautiful little girl in the world. Harper, you are my greatest joy and my greatest motivation. Everything I do is about building a Pennsylvania that's worthy of your future. A Pennsylvania that is safer, fairer, and more hopeful than the one that I inherited. And that's not just my promise to my daughter, but it's my promise to every child in this Commonwealth. I've had the privilege to travel all across Pennsylvania, whether it's hearing the concerns of students in Pittsburgh, workers in Erie, seniors in Scranton, small business owners in Reading, or community leaders in Gettysburg. And I can tell you this, the things that unite us are so much greater than the things that divide us. Pennsylvanians, no matter their background or community, want the same things. They want an economy that works for them, that allows them and their children to live the American dream. They want to be safe and feel safe in their community. They want their children to get a quality education regardless of their zip code. And they want real freedom. But let's be honest tonight about what families are facing, because too many Pennsylvanians are being squeezed from every direction. Gas prices are spiking, utility bills are climbing, grocery costs are stretching family budgets to the breaking point. I've heard it from parents working 2 jobs, from seniors on fixed incomes, from young families trying to get started. People are doing everything right and still struggling to get ahead. Let me be clear, we can't and won't sit idly by. Pennsylvanians deserve leaders who show up, who listen, and who get stuff done. That's why Josh and I are working hard to bring down costs for Pennsylvanians by cutting taxes not once, not twice, but 7 times since taking office to put more money back in your pockets. We tripled the child care tax credit while securing millions for a new child care recruitment and retention program. So not only can the workers caring for our most precious resource be supported, but so families can more easily find affordable, high-quality child care. We're creating ladders of opportunity for the next generation to not just survive, but to thrive right here in Pennsylvania by driving historic investments to our public schools and creating new pathways to succeed. From expanding apprenticeship and career pathways programs to supporting entrepreneurship. My friends, Pennsylvania is on the rise. We've got a lot of stuff done, but there's still so much more we have to accomplish. We can build off the progress we've already started by sending more allies to Harrisburg and securing a governing trifecta. By retaining the state house and for the first time in a generation flipping the state senate, we have the opportunity to finally raise the minimum wage here in Pennsylvania. To make the dream of owning a home more attainable, to enshrine protections for our LGBTQ neighbors, and so much more. We have the power, with your voices and your votes, to make that our reality. Pennsylvania should be a place where every person has the ability to live the American dream. You should be able to provide for those you love and live with dignity. And you should be able to get ahead, not just get by. And while families are fighting day to day to make ends meet, we're seeing something else unfold in our country that should concern every single one of us. We're watching our fundamental rights and freedoms come under even greater attack, from a woman's right to choose to the right to vote. Those on the other side have spent years chipping away at the Voting Rights Act, a law that generations fought, bled, and died to secure. A law that made our democracy stronger, fairer, and more inclusive for all Americans. And now, piece by piece, that protection has been weakened in a calculated effort to diminish black and brown voices and access to fair representation. Let me be clear.
In America, the right to vote is sacred. It's the foundation of our democracy, a democracy born right here in this Commonwealth. And in Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro and I will always protect your right to a free and fair election. We will always stand up for the voice of the people, whether you agree with us or not. And we will move Pennsylvania forward, not backward. That is the contrast in this moment. Division versus unity, fear versus hope, going backward versus moving forward together. And here in Pennsylvania, we're making the right decisions. We've chosen progress over partisanship, compassion over chaos, and leadership that meets this moment for all Pennsylvanians. I often think about the people who made this moment possible. I stand on the shoulders of giants. People like Speaker K. Leroy Irvis, Chief Justice Robert Nix, and countless others, activists, organizers, and everyday Americans whose names may never show up in history books, but whose sacrifices paved the way for leaders like me to stand here today. I carry their legacy with me, and I carry the responsibility to keep progress alive. I saw that responsibility come to life not long ago. In a small town in northwestern Pennsylvania, I met a group of children on a visit to their school. At the end of the program, one of those children pulled me by my jacket and said, "You look like me." That moment has never left me because representation matters. It tells our young people what's possible when they are willing to work hard. It reminds them that no dream is too big, and it challenges all of us to build a future where every child can see themselves in positions of leadership and service. That's what this campaign is about. It's about people, not politics, not red jerseys or blue jerseys. It's about putting on the Pennsylvania jersey. Because at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. And I'm proud to be on that team with our Governor, Josh Shapiro. A leader who shows up, a leader who stands up, and a leader who has never backed down from doing what's right for Pennsylvania. I'm proud to call him my partner in governing, but I'm even prouder to call him my friend. Pennsylvania, the stakes are high, but I believe in us. I believe in our people, and I believe in our future. And together with your help, Josh and I are going to keep moving this Commonwealth forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the 48th Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, my friend, Josh Shapiro.
I made 4 years ago was choosing you to be my running mate. You've been an outstanding and impactful Lieutenant Governor and a trusted voice in my ear. And tonight, my fellow Democrats once again showed great wisdom in elevating the son of a hairdresser and a union bus driver from Western Pennsylvania to the second most powerful job in our state. And I could not be more excited to wage this re-election campaign together. Thank you, Austin Davis. Thank you. You know, I am called to serve by my faith, and I've been guided on this journey of service by my family. The way my parents raised me to care about people around me. The way a girl in the 9th grade took a chance on me by granting me a first date at Goodnoe Farms in Newtown, right here in Bucks County. That date led to 29 years of a happy marriage, the blessing of 4 children, and a life dedicated to doing our part to repair the world. And so to Pennsylvania's First Lady, that girl I shared an ice cream and some cheese fries with back in, you ready for this, 1987. I love you. Tonight, Laura and I take another step on our journey of service. This work I do, it comes with a responsibility to honor those who came before me and carry forward the baton of freedom and progress and democracy. Our first executive arrived on the banks of the Delaware River on a ship named Welcome in 1682. His name was William Penn. And he set out to build a place that would be welcoming for all, an example to the nations, he said. He was guided in this work by these core principles: the freedom to worship as you please, a government that was fair to its citizens, and free elections where people would choose their representatives. Now, 3.5 centuries later, we are gathered here tonight with a duty to protect those principles, to ensure that we do our part right now to pass them down to the next generation of Pennsylvanians. We have a responsibility to show that we will be the model to others who are watching us for our lead. I know that all feels at risk right now. I know we're worried and we're fearful. And we're angry that this country that we love so much feels like it's slipping away, that the values that we hold dear are being squandered by a president and his band of enablers, hell-bent on injecting chaos and cruelty and corruption into our lives every day. But we are here tonight, all of us are here, because we choose not to be captive to the chaos. We choose not to be part of the cruelty, and we choose not to turn a blind eye to the corruption. We are here tonight to push back, to say enough is enough, to reclaim our power, and to stand together in common purpose, the Pennsylvania way. My faith teaches me that no one is required to complete the task, but neither are we free to refrain from it. And so, with a firm commitment to staying in the game and doing my part, I stand before you tonight to again accept the Democratic nomination for governor of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. In these divisive times, and with a politically divided legislature, we've shown that we can be the example that Penn spoke of. Here, we've shown that we can get stuff done and do it in a way that respects all Pennsylvanians, no matter what you look like or where you come from, who you love or who you pray to or choose not to pray to. Together, we've increased investment in public education by 30% and drove those dollars out to the schools that need the most help. We've increased the number of teachers after years of decline and expanded mental health services in nearly 800 schools across our state. And now, free breakfast for all students is the law in Pennsylvania. I've taken on the utility companies and told them to their face that the rate hikes they were seeking were pure greed. We won, and we saved the people of Pennsylvania hundreds of millions of dollars on their energy bills. Pennsylvania has the only growing economy in the Northeast, creating nearly 23,000 new jobs during my time as your governor, more than all but 2 states in the entire nation. And get this, we've done more economic development during my time as governor than the previous 15 years combined. At the same time, we are preparing our workforce for tomorrow, doubling our investment in VOTEC, apprenticeships, and ending the college degree requirement to work in state government, treating all Pennsylvanians with respect. As of today, we've enrolled over 42,000 apprentices to open up new pathways to opportunity. We brought down crime to record lows while passing sweeping criminal justice reforms because we believe in second chances here in Pennsylvania. We have shown that we can respect our cops and we can respect our communities. Every Pennsylvanian, as the LG said, deserves to be safe and feel safe. We put money back in people's pockets, cut taxes for small businesses and families trying to afford childcare. We passed the largest targeted tax cut for seniors in nearly 2 decades. And we brought Democrats and Republicans together to pass the most progressive tax reform in years by giving 940,000 Pennsylvanians up to $800 back this year, working Pennsylvanians. When insurance companies tried to jack up the cost of your health care, I stepped in and saved Pennsylvanians millions of dollars on insurance premiums, and we even got them to finally cover mental health care in Pennsylvania. And when the eyes of the nation were on us after I-95 collapsed, and the experts said it would take months to rebuild, we showed the tenacity and the technical know-how to get traffic moving again on I-95 in just 12 days, thanks to the amazing skill of our Pennsylvania building trades. So much of this work has been possible because of the outstanding work of Speaker Joanna McClinton and Majority Leader Matt Bradford. They join us here tonight. And I want you all to hear me on this. Their strength as leaders is unmatched. And them and their colleagues should be proud of all we've accomplished together. While we've made real progress, understand I am hungry for more. I know people are hurting right now because of Trump's policies in D.C. and Republican intransigence in Harrisburg. We have more work to do. That's why these races up and down the ballot matter so much. We need to re-elect Brian Monroe so we can keep Speaker McClinton in charge of the State House. Are you with me? And we also need to play offense. Bucks County will be the epicenter of the fight to win a Democratic majority in the state Senate. Send Eileen Albiard to the state Senate to work with Steve Sanacero and Vince Hughes, and she will support my work to finally raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Give me a Democratic majority in the Senate, and we will fully fund mass transit. We will build more housing, and we will codify abortion rights into state law here in Pennsylvania. I'm hungry, Bucks County. I'm hungry to do more, and you can help me deliver. But for all that we've gotten done, for all the progress we've made and the lives we've improved, the plans we have for an even brighter tomorrow, we can't ignore that we are facing very real challenges because of the chaos and the cruelty and the corruption coming out of Washington. Think about the chaos this president and his administration have caused with the war in Iran, a war Donald Trump was wrong to get into and has no idea how to get out of. He has spent $30 billion on this war so far, depleting America's resources, straining our alliances, undermining our national security, and failing to achieve the constantly shifting goals that he lays out. And while his failed leadership has made us less safe and more isolated abroad, here at home, it's made us worse off. This war has caused gas prices to soar to more than $4.60 a gallon across Pennsylvania. That's on top of his tariffs, which have made everything cost more. from the fertilizers our farmers rely on, to the aluminum used by our craft brewers, to the prices we all pay at the grocery store. Instead of bringing down costs as he promised, Trump and his enablers are pinching the middle class and then saying he doesn't care even a little bit. That's what he said. That's cruel. And we experience his cruelty every day in Pennsylvania. Think about the working mom I know who works as a home health aide, making $25,000 a year while supporting 2 kids at home. Even though she's got a stable job, it doesn't pay enough, especially right now when costs are going up. She relies on Medicaid for her health care coverage. She is doing everything right, working hard, caring for others, trying to give her kids a good start. But last year, Donald Trump got his allies in Congress and people like my opponent in this race to back his top priority, cutting Medicaid for people like that working mom. Across Pennsylvania, 500,000 are going to lose health care, including 310,000 of our neighbors on Medicaid. Imagine what will happen when she loses her health care. Where will she go when she gets sick? What happens if she hurts her back after a long week at work? How will she take care of her kids? Donald Trump and his enablers would have her suffer in pain just to give a massive tax cut for those at the very top who don't need it. That's cruelty. And now, think about the unmatched corruption of this president and his administration. They have built a government whose entire goal seems to be to help enrich his friends, his donors, and his own family, and then shield them all from paying the price for their illegal conduct. It started on day one, you remember, when he pardoned those who broke the law and assaulted cops in the Capitol on January 6th. Just yesterday, we learned that he would continue whitewashing history by using your money to pay those who broke the law and betrayed our country from a new illegal billion-dollar fund that he fleeced from the American taxpayer. Somehow, he can't find the money to pay for health care, but he can steal from you to pay off the criminals who stored the Capitol. It's shameful. Under our commander-in-chief, the deals we make with other countries are dictated by graft, not by our national security interests. We have a government that is not just embracing a culture of rampant corruption. They are stealing from the American people right before our very eyes. I know corruption when I see it. As your Attorney General, I prosecuted those who broke the law, who stole from taxpayers, and I applied the law without fear or favor. You know, our founders feared this kind of corruption. They knew that no law, no constitution, no doctrine could stop corruption if leaders didn't act morally and with the common good of society in mind. We sadly learned in the last 18 months the lack of morals in the White House and the bounds of our laws, our courts, and our Congress. But Pennsylvania, there is an antidote to all of this. Right here in our Commonwealth, we have the power to rein in the chaos, the cruelty, and the corruption of this administration and chart a better path forward for our Commonwealth and for the citizens of this country. We have a lot of power and we have a lot of responsibility. And we should not lose sight of the privilege we have to live in Pennsylvania, the state that always decides it all. I'm grateful for the hard work being done by the chairman of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party, my friend Eugene DePasquale. And I'm grateful for his army of Pennsylvania Democrats who all knock on doors, who text their neighbors, and who give their time for our party, for our Commonwealth, and for our country. You know, we got a lot done together. We got a lot more work to do. We cannot afford to give Donald Trump a rubber stamp in the governor's office. And that's exactly what we're up against. My opponent is running on her complete and total allegiance to Donald Trump because she's more focused on serving him than fighting for you. She proudly wears that MAGA hat while I wear the Pennsylvania jersey. You and your families, I believe, deserve a governor who shares your values, who will always fight for you. I'll defend the union way of life. I'll defend the right to choose, and I'll defend the right to marry who you love. I'll invest in your future, and hear me on this, I will always honor the oath I take to uphold the constitutions of the United States and our Commonwealth. I will never, ever, ever back down from a fight. And I will never back down from a fight, especially against a president who's coming for you. You also deserve leaders in Congress who will focus on getting stuff done for you, not going to D.C. to say yes to whatever they're told, no matter how much it hurts Pennsylvanians. Look at this Republican Congress, a Congress of weak sycophants who have abdicated their constitutional responsibilities and abandoned all of us in order to serve the will of Donald Trump. The only way we can expect to change this is to win in November and bring some accountability back to our nation's capital. I know it might seem dark right now, but we have a chance to bring light back into this country. Think about what it will look like after we flip 4 seats here in Pennsylvania and win all across this country in November. To have a Congress that actually fights for us. We can roll back those Medicaid cuts and get back to investing in our communities and our families, not in reckless wars of choice. We can finally pass a new Voting Rights Act and a national anti-gerrymandering law in order to protect our right to vote and our democracy. By winning these congressional seats here, we can elect a Congress that doesn't shy away from the responsibility of exposing wrongdoing. And we can hold this president and his administration accountable for their corruption. We have an historic opportunity, my fellow Pennsylvanians, to flip the U.S. House of Representatives. And I know we are ready to do our part in Pennsylvania. And in our state capital, we have the opportunity to keep moving our Commonwealth forward, protecting our state House majority and delivering a Democratic majority in the state Senate for the first time since 1992. We can do this. This election is a clear choice between their chaos, their cruelty, and their corruption, and our compassion. We believe in free breakfast for our kids. They believe in cutting food assistance for our hungry neighbors. We believe in the rule of law. They believe in self-dealing and enriching themselves at the expense of all of us. We have the courage and the strength of our convictions. These Republican office holders who enable the president, well, they know better, but they refuse to speak up, to stand up. We believe in the right to vote while they work to silence the voices of Black Americans and rig the system to get the outcome that perpetuates their rule. We are better than that. We can come together to defeat the darkness we feel today and find our way into the light of tomorrow. In Pennsylvania, it is up to us this November and all of you, because you're the ones with the power. You have the power to change the direction of this country and chart a better future. You know, we gather here tonight in the midst of celebrating 250 years since we declared our independence from a king and set in motion one of the most extraordinary experiments in human governance and created the greatest country on the face of the earth. And in every generation since our founding, it's been on our fellow Americans to organize, to mobilize, to repair our world, and to pursue justice, to perfect our union together. No one is coming to do this work for us. It's on each of us right now. And like those who came before us, I believe we are willing to do our part. We are willing to stand up, and now is our moment to elect strong leaders who will fight for this democracy and deliver for all Pennsylvanians, to be a check on the chaos and cruelty and corruption, to live out Penn's vision and keep building a Commonwealth that is warm and welcoming for all, to create real opportunity and to advance the cause of real freedom. This is our charge, Pennsylvania. This is our time, and this is our task. Are you ready to go to work? Are you ready to win up and down this ballot? Are you ready to reclaim our country? Pennsylvania, may God bless you. Let's get to work. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you.